What is up, everyone? Back at it with another video. So happy to be back to create some football content. We are sticking here with the 49ers, the team that I root for and that probably the majority of my football content will be about. Brock Purdy. Okay, so his name has been coming up this week because a lot of his, doubters, or people that just plain out don't like him or have their, suspicions about how good he really is, are starting to move the goalpost once again. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Brock Purdy will be playing week 3 against the Rams without Christian McCaffrey. As we all know, he's going to be out for a period of a few more weeks. But this time, recent news came out that Deebo Samuel will not be participating as well in this game against the Rams. So this has left a lot of the media, the big media on ESPN and Fox, talking about this subject and bringing up Purdy and having their suspicions about how will he do. Does he has something else to prove now that he will be without two, not one, but two very important key pieces. So this is my thing. The media is moving the goalposts once again. Last year, it was about, can he come back from injury? Okay, everyone was curious about that, and he did. It was about, can he continue this winning streak? He did. And then he went on that 3-game slump where the media, I don't think, pays that close attention because they have a lot of teams to pay attention to, said that he didn't perform well, didn't perform that great at all over that 3-game skid last year. Whereas against the Browns, he put them in a field goal position to win the game. The Vikings, yeah, he didn't have the greatest of games, but if I remember correctly, 2 out of those 3 games that they lost in a row, he didn't play very bad at all. But the big media, all they saw was Deebo was out and Trent was out, and they were like, oh, there it is. He can't do it without his guys, or what a lot of them like to call the Avengers, because it's just a way of bringing, I hate to sound blunt, but it's a term they like to use to bring Purdy down, that Purdy has a group of superheroes. So that was part of the goalpost. Can he go back to the postseason, do it again? And the biggest one was, can he come back from a deficit and put the team on his back and win? He did that during the playoffs. So just when you think the goalpost is finally set in stone for Brock Purdy, at this point you're either on the Purdy train or you're not. They found a reason to move it back again, and the reason is, can Brock Purdy go out there and win games without CMC and Deebo Samuel both out at the same time? I think it's unfair. Why do I think it's unfair? Because the media, quite frankly, doesn't do this to other quarterbacks that they deem to be quote-unquote elite. I can't think of any scenarios right now, but if you think of any of the elite quarterbacks in the league, from the Patrick Mahomes to the Lamar Jacksons, Josh Allens, Joe Burrows, whatever you deem as elite, if they were out with a couple of their starters, no one is making hot takes about, hey, can this guy go and win without his starters? Because if they don't, they're not going to look at those guys any different, because they're all, a lot of them are high draft picks. They're guys that they trust in this league more than they trust Purdy, for their own reasons or not, because that's just how it is. With Brock Purdy, it's very unfair. No one wants to go out there and play without their starters, right? Mahomes, take Travis Kelce away. Probably not the same Mahomes. Not saying he still can't win games. I think he can. But of course, maybe his performance may drop. As of late, Travis Kelce hasn't been playing as well, I guess, and he's still finding ways to win. But what I'm saying is that obviously Mahomes will do better as long as Kelce's better as well, right? Lamar Jackson, if you take Flowers away, he's probably not going to do as well. Jordan Love, if you take Reed away, he's probably not going to do as well. And the list goes on. But no one's going to talk about that if, God forbid, those guys ever go down. They're not going to talk about it in that light. But for Brock Purdy, they will, because they always have this doubt in their mind that he's not the guy. And whether they come out and say it or not, you just get the sense of it because they come out with these takes. So my perspective is, Brock Purdy, please go out there and just put this to rest. I do believe they can go out there and beat the Rams without these guys. The Rams, as you know, have a lot of injuries. And the thing is, if they go out there and they beat the Rams in convincing fashion, I don't know if that will be enough because it's the Rams and they're depleted. I think the Rams are a good team, but they're suffering with a lot of injuries right now. And then the week after that, it's the Patriots. So if same thing, he goes out there without Debo and McCaffrey, I don't know if that will be enough. But the point of that is he can only play the teams that are in front of him. He does not control the schedule. And they are saying, can he go out there and do it without them? They are not saying against who it is. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out there and beats the Rams in convincing fashion and the Patriots in convincing fashion. I would not be surprised if they then start making takes of like, well, it was the Rams. They don't have all their guys. Well, it's the Patriots. They're not that great in the first place. So don't be surprised if they still move the goalpost. But regardless of the fact is, I think Brock Purdy can still do it. He still has Kittle. He still has Juwan Jennings. Juice is out there. BA is out there. Like I said in my other video, I think BA is going to have a come-out game against the Rams. And it'll all be good. And I think after that is done, we can finally kind of just leave Brock Purdy alone for a little while. Because that was the thing. Can he do it without all his Avengers? Well, we're about to find out. I 100% think he can. I'm sure his doubters over at ESPN or Fox, not all of them, but some of them, I'm sure some of them are probably hoping for his downfall because they hate to be proven wrong. But that's the thing. I think Brock Purdy has shown enough that he can win without these guys, whether he's literally actually done it or not, because of how well he's performed as it is. His regular season record is like off the charts. The one I do know off the top of my head is against all NFC teams. He's 14-2. His only 2 losses against the Vikings. I don't know what the water is over there in Minnesota. Call it a curse. I don't know, but he's 14-2 against NFC teams. So I just think it's going to be a topic of discussion. I just hope they leave him alone for a while, and if they're ever going to talk about him, I hope it's just to praise the guy and not bring him down. I'm a big Purdy guy. I'm a big Purdy believer. If you ask me, I believe Purdy's top 5 in the league, hands down. But, I think Brock Purdy's going to go out there, and I truly think he's going to, shut these guys up that are probably wondering that he can't. They're not literally saying that they don't think he can do it, but they're coming up with these topics because in their minds they're doubtful. But like I said, it's unfair because they're not going to put other quarterbacks in that same light without their starters, so why do it to Purdy? Anyways, guys, I look forward to seeing what happens. I look forward to making more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.